Hello, my dear listeners, and welcome back to the Kapeel Gupta Career PodShow, the show where we talk real, we talk straight, and we talk about the stuff nobody taught you in school. And I'm your host, Kapeel Gupta. And today, my friends, we are talking about something that will either make you or break you in life. No, it's not your resume. No, it's not your college degree. And no, it's definitely not how many LinkedIn connections you have. Today we are talking about money. Yes, money, money. Specifically, financial literacy. And why you, as a young Indian, absolutely, desperately, urgently need to learn it right now. And now I know what some of you are thinking. Bye, couple. I just started college. I'm surviving on Maggie and borrowed data. What finance are you talking about? And to that, I say, exactly. That is precisely why we are having this conversation today. Because the best time to learn about money is when you have very little of it. And the second best time, right now, while you're listening to this podcast. So here's a story. Meet Riya. She's 22, fresh out of a tier 2 college in Pune. Just got her first job at an IT company with a salary of rupees 28,000 per month. She's thrilled. She buys new clothes, orders Zomato every day, gets herself an EMI phone she did not really need, and signs up for 4 OTT subscriptions because, hey, she deserves it, right? Fast forward to month 3. Ria has zero savings, a credit card bill she cannot fully pay, and she's counting days to her next salary. Sounds familiar? Maybe it's you. Maybe it's your best friend. Or maybe it's your cousin who just got a job and is already broke. And now meet Arjun. Same age as Ria, same kind of job, same salary. But Arjun had one thing Ria did not. He understood money. By 25, Arjun had an emergency fund, an SIP running in a mutual fund, and was already thinking about buying his first flat before 30. The difference between Ria and Arjun was not luck, it was not talent, it was financial literacy. And that is exactly what we are going to unpack today in this episode. So grab your chai, plug in your earphones, and let us get started. Hi, I'm Kapeel Gupta, career coach, life mentor, and founder of Study Abroad Academy. I empower students, parents, and conscious professionals to design a fulfilling life and career by aligning their minds, values, and aspirations. I do it with coaching, mindset work, and the game changing power of graphotherapy because students deserve more than just guidance, they deserve transformation. So let us start with one big question. Why does financial literacy matter early? Why can it not wait until you are 35 and have a proper job and a stable income? Well, my friend, the answer is simple. Because the habits you form in your early 20s are the habits that will follow you for the rest of your life. According to a 2023 survey by the National Center for Financial Education in India, only 27% of Indian adults are financially literate. Let that sink in. Less than 1 out of every 3 adults in this country truly understands how money works. And it shows. We are a nation of incredible engineers, doctors, and entrepreneurs, but a nation that struggles massively with personal finance. Think about it this way. You spend at least 15 years studying everything from the Mughal emperor to photosynthesis. But nobody, not your school, not your college, not your parents in most cases, ever sat you down and said, Beta, let me teach you how to budget, how to invest, how to protect yourself financially. And that is a massive gap. And it is a gap that is costing India's youth billions of rupees every year in wasted money, bad decisions, and missed opportunities. The difference between financial freedom and financial stress is not really about how much you earn. It's about how much you understand, manage, and grow what you earn. You can earn rupees 10 lakh a year and be broke if you do not manage it well. And you can earn rupees 4 lakh a year and build real wealth if you're smart about it. Think about your pocket money days. Remember how you used to manage that rupees 500 your parents gave you for the month. Some of you made it last all month. Some of you blew it in 3 days or pani puri and sticker packs. Those micro decisions. They're actually a preview of how you will handle your first salary. If you learn to manage rupees 500 well, you'll manage rupees 50,000 well. If you did not, well, the amount changes, but the problem stays the same. Financial literacy gives you power. It gives you options. It gives you the ability to say yes to opportunities and no to traps. And in today's world, where credit cards, EMI schemes, and buy now, pay later apps are literally designed to make you spend more than you should, being financially literate is not just smart, it's survival. All right, let's get practical. Let us talk about budgeting. And before you yawn and reach for your phone, hear me out because I promise this is the most useful thing you'll learn today. Budgeting is not about being cheap. It's not about saying no to fun. It's about being intentional with your money so that your money works for you, not the other way around. And the simplest framework I can give you is the famous 50-30-20 rule. And here is how it works. Take your take home salary, let's say rupees 30,000 per month. 50% of that, meaning rupees 15,000, goes towards your needs. Now, this includes rent, food, transport, electricity, medicine, the stuff you cannot live without. 30%, which is rupees 9,000, goes towards your wants. Now, this includes eating out, movies, new clothes, subscriptions, gadgets, the things that make life enjoyable. And the remaining 20%, which is rupees 6,000, goes straight into savings or investments, non negotiable. Now, the moment most young Indians hear this, they say, Kapil Bhai, that is impossible in a city like Mumbai or Bengaluru, where rent alone eats half my salary. And yes, adjustments may need to be made depending on your city and circumstances. Maybe your split is 60-20-20, and that is okay. The point is not the exact percentage. The point is the principle of intentional allocation. Every single rupee you earn should have a job. And now let us talk about the traps. And there are three big ones that I see catching young Indians all the time. The first is impulsive online shopping. Amazon, Flipkart, Mantra, Meesho, these platforms are designed by some of the smartest people in the world to make you spend money. Flash sales, countdown timers, only 3 left in stock messages, all of it is designed to trigger your FOMO and bypass your logical brain. So before you click buy now, ask yourself, do I need this? Or do I just want it right now? Give yourself a 24-hour rule. If you still want it tomorrow, maybe it's worth buying. Most of the time, you'll forget about it. The second trap is credit card misuse. A credit card is not free money. It is borrowed money that charges you anywhere between 36% to 48% per year if you do not pay the full amount on time. And that is absolutely brutal. Use smartly, paying the full balance every month, using reward points. A credit card is a great tool. Used carelessly, it's a debt trap that can take years to get out of. And the third trap is lifestyle inflation. Now, this is the sneaky one. You get a raise, you upgrade your phone. You move to a better apartment. You start going to fancier restaurants. Your expenses grow exactly as fast as your income, sometimes even faster. Result? Despite earning more, you never actually get ahead. The solution is to consciously delay upgrading your lifestyle and instead redirect that extra income to savings and investments, at least for the first few years. Okay, so now you are budgeting, you're avoiding traps, and you have some money left at the end of the month. Now what? Let us talk about saving and investing because there's a very important difference between the two. Now, saving is putting money aside for safety and near term goals, like an emergency fund or a vacation. Investing is putting money to work so it grows over time. You need both. But most young Indians only save, and that is a problem because inflation means your savings are actually losing value over time. If inflation is at 6% and your saving account gives you 3.5% interest, you're effectively getting poorer every year. Just let this sink in. Let me say that again. If inflation is at 6% and your savings account gives you 3.5 interest, you're effectively getting poorer every year. So the first thing you build is an emergency fund. Before any investment, before any SIP, before any stock market adventure, build an emergency fund equal to at least 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses. Keep it in a savings account or a liquid mutual fund. This fund exists for one purpose only: genuine emergencies, job loss, medical crisis, urgent travel. This fund is the foundation of your financial life. Without it, one bad event can destroy years of financial progress. And now, once you have your emergency fund, it's time to invest. And here is where it gets exciting. India in 2024 and 25 has incredible investment options even for beginners. So now it's 2026, so the situation is getting even better. Let me walk you through a few. PPF, a public provident fund, is a government backed scheme that gives you around 7.1 annual interest, tax free and with complete safety. It is a 15-year lock in period, but it is perfect for long term wealth building. If you're starting your career, opening a PPF account is one of the best decisions you can make. Then there are mutual funds and SIPs. A mutual fund pools money from thousands of investors and invests in stocks, bonds, or both. SIP, a systematic investing plan, is simply a way to invest a fixed amount in a mutual fund every month, automatically, like an EMI, but for your future. You can start with as little as rupees 500 per month. According to AMFI data, the Indian mutual fund industry crossed 50 lakh crore rupees in assets under management in 2024, which tells you that crores of Indians are already using this tool. And then there is the big daddy, the stock market. Yes, it sounds scary. Yes, it is risky if you do not know what you're doing. But educated, long term investing in good companies has created more wealth for ordinary people than almost anything else. The Sensex has gone from about 1,000 in 1990 to over 80,000 in 2024. That is 80 times growth in 34 years. You do not need to be a trading genius. You need patience, consistency, and a long time horizon. And finally, if you want something simple and modern, digital gold. You can buy gold on apps like PhonePay or Google Pay starting from just rupee 1. It tracks the price of actual gold and you can sell wherever you want. Great for small amounts. And now, the most magical concept in all of personal finance is compounding. Let me tell you a story that will blow your mind. Suppose you invest rupees 5,000 per month starting at age 22 in a mutual fund that gives you 12% annual returns. By the time you're 42, that is just 20 years later, you will have invested a total of rupees 12 lakh. but your corpus will be approximately rupees 49 lakhs. That is almost four times your investment. So now, here is where it gets crazy. If you wait until you are 32 to start that same SIP, investing the same rupees 5,000 per month at the same 12% for just 10 years instead of 20, your corpus will be only about rupees 11.5 lakh. Every single year you wait to start investing costs you a fortune. So, this is the power of compounding. So, Albert Einstein reportedly called it the eighth wonder of the world, and he was absolutely right. Now, let us have an honest conversation about debt because not all debt is bad. In fact, some debt can be one of the smartest moves you make. The key is understanding the difference between good debt and bad debt. See, good debt is debt that helps you build something valuable, your career, your asset, your future. The best example for young Indians is an education loan. If you take a loan to study at a good institution, whether it's an IIM, a state university, or a study abroad program, and that education genuinely increases your earning potential, that is a smart investment with borrowed money. The return on investment is clear and calculable. Home loans can also be a good debt. You're building an asset. A business loan can be good debt if the business makes more money than the interest you pay. But bad debt, on the other hand, is debt that costs you money without building anything. Credit card debt is the most common and most dangerous form of bad debt for young Indians. As I mentioned earlier, credit card interest rates are between 36% to 48% per year. There's no investment in the world that gives you a guaranteed 40% return. So if you're carrying a credit card balance, you're essentially losing money at 40% per year. Even worse are the new age payday loan apps and unregulated lending apps that have exploded in India. Apps that offer quick loans of rupees 5,000, rupees 10,000 with almost no questions asked, but the interest rates that can go up to 100% or more annually when you factor in all fees and charges. The RBI has been taking action against many of these apps, but new ones keep appearing. Stay far, far away from these. And now, let us talk about credit scores. Your CIBIL score is a three-digit number between 300 and 900 that tells banks and lenders how trustworthy you are with money. A score above 750 is considered good. Now, this score is built up over time based on how you manage your credit. Do you pay your bills on time? Do you max out your credit cards? How many loans have you taken? Why does it matter? Because when you want a home loan, a car loan, or even a business loan in the future, your CIBIL score is one of the first things every bank will check. A high score means better interest rates and easier approval. A low score can mean rejection or very expensive loans. Start building your credit score today. Even a credit card you pay in full every month helps. And the good news, you can check your CIBIL score for free on several apps today. Okay, now we are in the home stretch now. So this is where everything comes together because financial literacy is not just about managing money day to day. It's about connecting your money to your dreams, your career aspirations, and your financial goals must work together. If they're pulling in different directions, you will always feel stuck. So let us think about some common Indian career dreams. Many of you want to study abroad, an MBA from a top school in the US or UK, or a master's degree in Canada. Do you know what that costs? We are talking anywhere between rupees 50 lakhs to rupees 1.5 crore or more for the full program. And that is not something that's scrambled together in 6 months. That requires a financial plan, years of savings, smart investment, and possibly an education loan. Start planning for it at 21 if you want to go at 25. The earlier you start, the more options you have. Some of you want to become entrepreneurs. A startup needs capital. If you plan to bootstrap, you need a financial runway, money to live on while your business grows. Most startups take 18 to 24 months before they generate meaningful revenue. Can you live for 2 years without a salary? That question has a very clear financial answer, and you should know yours before you take the plunge. And many of you simply want to own a home. According to a 2024 report, the average age of first time home buyers in India is now 38 years, and that is way too late. With smart financial planning, starting your mid 20s, you can aim to own your first home by 32 to 35, especially with a good home loan and a solid down payment fund. And now, here's something most young Indians skip because they think they're too young for it. Insurance. Listen to me carefully here. Health insurance is not optional. One serious illness or hospitalization without insurance can wipe out years of savings in a single bill. A decent health insurance plan with a cover of rupees 5 lakh to 10 lakhs costs a young person in their 20s just a few thousand rupees per year. That is a cup of coffee per day to protect your entire financial foundation. Term life insurance is equally important, especially if you have dependents or have taken a loan. A term plan of rupees 1 crore for a 25-year-old typically costs less than rupees 10,000 per year. Now, that is astonishing value. And the younger and healthier you are when you buy it, the cheaper it is. Now, that is not morbid. This is responsible. Finally, let us talk about something that is increasingly relevant for your generation: multiple income streams. Gone are the days when you had one job, one salary, and that was your entire financial life. Today's world offers incredible opportunities to earn beyond your main job. Freelancing on platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, or TopTal, content creation on YouTube, Instagram, or a blog, teaching on Unacademy or other edtech platforms, selling products or services online, digital marketing consulting. The possibilities are enormous. Building even one side income stream that generates rupees 5,000 to 10,000 per month can transform your financial life. That extra money, invested wisely, can fund your emergency fund, accelerate your investments, or give you the capital to eventually pursue your entrepreneurial dreams. And the skills you build doing it, writing, marketing, coding, designing, are valuable in their own right. So, all right, my friends, we have covered a lot of ground today. We talked about why financial literacy matters early, because your money habits formed today will shape your life for the next 40 years. We talked about budgeting with the 50-30-20 rule and the traps of impulsive spending and lifestyle inflation. We explored saving, investing in the extraordinary magic of compounding that rewards those who start early. We discussed the difference between good debt and bad debt, and why your credit score is a financial asset worth protecting. And finally, we connected money to your career dreams, whether that is studying abroad, building a startup, buying a home, or creating multiple income streams. And here is what I want you to walk away with today. Financial literacy is not a skill reserved for CAs, MBAs, or people from rich families. It is a skill for everyone. It is a skill you can learn, and it is a skill that will pay you back thousands of times over the rest of your life. Ria, the girl we met at the beginning of this episode, in a parallel version of the story, she found this podcast. She listened to this episode. She opened a PPF account, started a rupees thousands SIP, and began tracking her expenses in a simple notebook app. Nothing dramatic, just small, consistent steps. And 5 years later, she had an emergency fund, a growing investment portfolio, and for the first time in her life, she felt genuinely in control of her money. That story can be your story too. And now, before I let you go, I'm going to give you the most important challenge of this episode. And I'm asking you to take it seriously because it can literally change the trajectory of your financial life starting today. In the next 24 hours, do these 5 things. 1. Download a budgeting app. It can be Walnut, Money Manager, or even a simple notes app. Track every single rupee you spend for the next 30 days. Not to judge yourself, just to understand yourself, because you cannot fix what you cannot see. 2. Check your bank account right now and identify one unnecessary subscription or expense you can cut or reduce. That money, move it to a recurring deposit or a liquid fund. Start building your emergency fund today. 3. Open a free account on a SEBI registered mutual fund app, Zerodha Coin, Grow, or Paytm Money, and start an SIP of even rupees 500 per month. Do not wait until you have more money. Start with what you have. The habit is more important than the amount. 4. Check your CIBIL score for free on apps like Bank Bazaar or Paisa Bazaar. Understand where you stand. If you do not have a credit history yet, that is okay. Start building one responsibly. 5. Share this episode with one friend who needs to hear it. Not because I want the downloads, though I won't say no to those, but because sharing good information is one of the most generous things you can do for someone you care about. Your financial journey does not start when you get your first score. It starts right now with the next decision you make about money. Make it a good one. So this is Kapeel Gupta signing off from the Kapeel Gupta Career PodShow. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and remember, your career is the engine, but your finances are the fuel. Take care of both.